Big story of the day is, by order of Canonical, Ubuntu flavors in all incarnations, Xbuntu, Kubuntu, all of them. Ubuntu Mate, you are no longer allowed to install Flatpaks by default. So that means Flatpaks will not be packaged with any Ubuntu flavor by order of Canonical. Yeah, I read through this whole article. It's pretty jacked up. I mean, they're really obviously pushing Snap right here. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? That's so jacked up. I mean, we should have saw it. So yeah, it's obviously pushing its own cross-platform Snap. And from version 23.04, only snaps will be built in. No Flatpak plugins, and for the software store, it will be removed. You can still manually install it through the CLI, but you can no longer, on any Ubuntu flavor, install Flatpak from the software store, or it be baked in on the official one. It's just totally jacked up. So there's 8 official flavors or remixes. And it's Kubuntu, Lubuntu, Ubuntu Bungee, Ubuntu Kylin, which I've never used, Ubuntu Mate, Ubuntu Studio, Ubuntu Unity, and Xbuntu, which is the XFCE spin of it. Wow. I guess you should see it, but man, Canonical's not doing themselves any favor here. They're so scared of Flatpak, and Flatpak's starting to get so much traction that they have to remove it from their official flavors. Which is unfortunate. You know, out of these flavors, I think most of them are pretty crappy. Except for, I would say, you know, Lubuntu and Kubuntu are still some of my favorites. Lubuntu's actually a pretty good minimal spin, and Kubuntu is a good stock KDE experience. So it's sad that I can't really start, you know, recommending these anymore. I really thought, hey, that would be okay. Now, having said that, you can still do like an Ubuntu server spin. It's not to say I would never use Ubuntu, but I would just never use a desktop bundled ISO from Ubuntu. You can still install Ubuntu server, immediately disable snapd service because it's enabled by default, and then install Flatpak, and then build out your perfect Ubuntu-based desktop environment. Totally still doable. So it's just, you know, again, these ones I used to use. Those ones right there, Kubuntu and Lubuntu, I liked. But no more. I can't really recommend anybody install them without having to modify. And at that point, you should just be installing from server anyways. You could do like a task SEL. If you've never used task SEL before, it'll basically install most of the desktop environment for you, and a sane package selection. We'll see if they modify those packages. This article kind of goes on for a bit, and I think towards the end here, they even say it's not that bad, I guess, because, you know, they obviously want to push their proprietary packaging. But I think the biggest thing about snaps and why I'm just so anti-snap is the only snap server out in existence is hosted by Ubuntu, and that server is not open source. So nobody else can open up a snap store. It's a locked environment. And to me, if you're going to do that, at least have a good store. The snaps are not terrible. They're okay. But it's just, why bother? Why not just use Mac or Windows? They do it better when it comes to proprietary stores. And that's kind of where snaps are for me. I do like the syntax of snap better than Flatpak, but as far as performance goes, snaps are usually a little bit worse than Flatpak in my experience. I know when they packaged up Firefox, Snap had a bug for the longest time, years, where it would just take a long time to launch, you know, about a couple seconds, where Flatpak didn't. And Flatpak's just more widely used and also more widely open. So Canonical, you're still the devil. Absolutely the devil.